Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC but do everything DIY. And today we are back for a follow-up visit for an LG multi-V system. Thank you to everyone tuning in to Jumperman Tech. Today we are back for a follow-up visit. In my previous video, we were troubleshooting this system. We had a problem where this wired remote controller here was turning on and off with a display. We determined that it was actually this board that was faulty. They mentioned that when the fan motors are connected to a single board like this one, and it doesn't have its own separate board to power the fans, that when this kind of failure happens, you should replace the board with the two fan motors. The issue is the spacing here, because to get to the motors, got all these, not really the pipes that are really the problem to get in the way. It's the fact that we need to get underneath here and deep down. But the problem is we have a closet here and it's framed out, and we're just not going to get in there without major construction. This unit right here stretches down to probably over here. But look, we got the frame of this door, and then this is a custom closet where there's just wood in there and there's a light in there. So we have electrical in the way, we have the wood, we have the sheetrock, we have the framing for the door. And you can see there's only a small portion where you could even get to here. This unit really stretches down pretty deep in there, and we just don't have access for that. So I'm gonna avoid what they said. From whatever tests I was able to do, these are the two fan motors here. Didn't really get any off readings, so we're gonna attempt to change this board, and hopefully everything works from there. If not, something's gonna have to be done here, and this is all gonna have to be ripped apart for us to actually change those motors. So let's begin. It should be fun. What's good about this unit is that this is probably the best spacing for me to actually get to this board, and I got space to work with. Almost every other room is the opposite. This board, this area is like right up against the wall or something, and you need like your cell phone to even see what you're looking at. The day it comes to change those boards, it's gonna be an absolute nightmare. But anyways, got the power off right now. Let's see how we're gonna get in here. It's pretty tight. There is a lot going on in here. I'm gonna try to make as much space as I can to get wires out the way. I know these two are the two fan motors. Let's get that out the way. This is thermostat. We're gonna have to try to clear this as best as we can, because this right here is tricky. It's this one that goes there. Yep, if I can, I'll take pictures and use the wiring diagram to try to help us. Yeah. I took some photos of the board. I also have this diagram to work with, and we're gonna try our best. What I'm gonna try to do is take off the screws, the 4 screws at the edge of this board, try to pull it out, and maybe go wire for wire if that's possible. I am going to use a drill to take out the screws, but a screwdriver to put it back. Okay. There is a couple things that would need to be taken out, like this wire here. CN option that goes into like another piece on the side here. All right. Use like a little thermostat screwdriver to push on that tab. and take that out. Okay. Let's see how much we could actually. Also 3A and 4B here. The daisy chain. Let me take that out. Where's this ground? I think I might be able to pull it out from here. It's just so many freaking wires in the way. Is it possible? No. I got pictures. I know that's a thermistor, room thermistor, pipe in and out thermistors, and this is thermostat. Let's pull all that out. Yeah. I gotta get these out and just do it from scratch. I took pictures, and for the most part, this kind of goes in its own place. Like little, I call them dummy connectors, because can't go wrong with some of them. They're like color coded and they only fit a certain way, which definitely helps. Okay. It's tight to even get this in here. Who's this? Float switch. I should have remember that. Whatever that was. Alright, this is the board. I wonder if there are any burn marks in here. Not that I see, but man, there's a lot going on this little board. Alright, let's clear a little space here. And let's get this in here safely. It's so tight. Jeez. Maybe if I go this way. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get this in place. Right there. Almost. Right there. I'm gonna get that in place. And then go wire for wire. Like that. Alright, it's kind of staying. And let's get these screws in. Let's mount this board. Alright, and then from here, I'm just gonna try to do everything neatly. This one, that's the thermostat. This is one of my thermistors. This is orange to orange or yellow to yellow, whatever color that is. Alright, got some more thermistors. Just try to do this neatly. I know this piece was swinging around and going in here. Let's get that in there. Okay. And we're just gonna go one by one. Okay, I remember this 3A, 3B went here to this daisy chain. And we're just gonna go one by one, look back at the photos and see where exactly everything goes. Using photos as reference and the diagram, and we are getting close to the end. This is gonna be extremely difficult to change in a setting where I could barely get to anything, where it's like a tight space. That will be extremely difficult. This is hard to get in just like that. All right, this little float switch. It's a little pain. Let's do that last. And then in here, let's say we go like this, get that in there. The fan motors are here. It's not one or the other working, so that really shouldn't matter. Which one goes where? They're identical. Okay. That's like that. This is our last guy, this little float. I think that's the last thing I have to wire. Just have everything nice and neat. And we're gonna see what happens. We got everything in there. That's awesome. That's a beautiful thing. Gotta put this filter back. Also, I'm curious as to what voltages we're gonna get now, so we're gonna test it at the thermostat. Turn the power on. We got a green light in that corner, left corner, as you guys can see. Let's take a look at our thermostat. Let's see if we get a steady light. Oh, you see it's reading in Celsius. All right, we're gonna have to get into the settings as well. I turned the power back off because I want to take off this thermostat and check voltage, but look at that. CH35. We got other problems here. We got other problems here. All right, here. So here we have 3 wires. We have, starting from the left, is a yellow wire, which is your signal. The middle wire is red, which for your 12 volts. And on the right is your black wire, which is ground. This is a 12 volt thermostat, DC. All right, thermostat is off, CH35. That means the whole condensing unit probably went down. So we're gonna check between ground and signal, and then ground and 12 volts. Let's check between ground and 12 volts. We have 11.9 volts, okay. And between ground and signal, look at that, 11.8 volts. So now we have our steady 12 volts DC. Last time, I don't know the exact voltage, but I believe it was 11.2 volts between black and 12 volts, between black and red. And then between black and yellow, we would get like ranging from like 0 volts to 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt, and then dropping in and out. It's not supposed to be dropping in and out. That's good. We have the proper voltage now. Yeah, people were saying to use a different kind of meter, but this wouldn't read it. We wouldn't get anything on the signal wire. Right now, nothing's calling. So between ground and signal, we do have basically our 12 volts now. Maybe when you turn this unit on heating or cooling, right now we're in heating season, between black and yellow, between the signal wire and ground, we might see like it auto ranging a bit because it needs to communicate. That I do understand, but clearly you guys can see we have the steady voltage now, as we didn't have that before, which is great. So it definitely was the board. We got to see what's up with this CH35 thing on the roof, and well, we got to look into that. Maybe we could reset it for now just to see if we can finish with this room, and that's going to be a different service called CH35. Oh man, this building's a mess. So with the system not calling for heating or cooling, as you can see, we have our 11.9 volts across between black and red, and then between black and yellow, signal and power. I definitely want to check it when the system is back on, but we're gonna have to go to the roof to see what's going on there. But what was going on was that when this thermostat was not connected, I had my 12 volts between black and red, but between black and yellow, I had like strange voltages. Sometimes it would be jumping around, and sometimes it would be like 11 volts, which was kind of low. And the issue was when we connected this thermostat, when we had a load connected to that board, was we have very strange voltages between black and the signal, black and yellow. It was just, you know, like I said, it was auto ranging 4 volts, 3 volts, 2 volts. It was really going crazy and weird. So there was a difference when this thermostat was connected and when it wasn't. So when it was connected, did we actually see the problem? Let's go up to the roof and see what we see. Also, just for a quick note, there are dip switches on this board, and whenever you're changing a board, you're going to want to match those up. We have it numbered from 1 to 8, and they're all in the off position. Down would represent off, up would represent on. So just keep that in mind. Whenever changing any sort of board, you want that to match. Alright, the infamous LG building. We gotta come in through there and walk up all these stairs just to get here every time. So it makes it really difficult changing all those crazy compressors. What's this? You weren't up here, right, Chris? Somebody was here. Yeah. Anyways, I think it's 8 West right here. Let's open this up. Yeah, it's definitely this one. 351 and then a 1. CH35. This whole floor is out. I think it's like 8 rooms. So 8 indoor units are connected to this one outdoor unit. This is the LG HVAC service-business app. CH35, it says the error title, low pressure of outdoor unit, cause of error. System is turned off by excessive decrease of low pressure of the outdoor unit. I always wondered if these units are charged properly, but it could be a sensor issue, could be a couple things. All right, there's a lot of potential issues. So it says the error point. It says error happens because of 10 times successive compressor off due to excessive drop of low pressure by a low pressure sensor. So it sensed low pressure 10 times before it shut down. I'm staying in here because it is cold out here, man. Let's see. Number 1 issue, defective low pressure sensor. 2, defective outdoor/indoor unit fan. 3, refrigerant shortage or leakage. 4, deformation because of damage of refrigerant pipe. Probably not. 5, defective indoor and outdoor unit EEV. 6, covering or clogging. The outdoor unit covering during the cooling mode, indoor unit filter clogging during heating mode. Do you see that? There is no maintenance in this building. There is no maintenance in this building. These fans were so bad and so packed. It was an absolute nightmare. All the fan blades are ridiculously packed. So basically it's like we're not moving air. It also said, defective indoor unit or outdoor unit fan. Oh geez, this door is crazy. Indoor unit or outdoor unit fan is not running. So if those fan blades are clogged like crazy, which they all are, it would be as if that fan is not running because we do not have airflow, right? we did not have airflow across the coil. That can cause freeze-ups and all that kind of stuff when your evaporator fan motor is not running. You know, this is a heat pump, so, you know, indoor, it is an indoor unit coil, indoor coil or outdoor coil. It's not just evaporator condenser because they switch roles, but either way, it said if it's the indoor or outdoor unit. So if you're not moving air, you're gonna have problems. There's a good chance that it's that, honestly. SVC valve clogging, service valve, 8 defective outdoor unit PCB, 9 defective indoor unit pipe sensor. I mean, it could be a lot of things, but right off the bat, the most common issue here that would make sense is number 6. Number 6, where we're not moving air. And I know we're not moving good air in all these units, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's that. Just caught myself real quick. I said it was number 6, which is the covering or clogging of the outdoor or indoor unit, like the dirty air filter or something is obstructing the outdoor. Sorry, it was number 2, defective outdoor indoor unit fan. So if those fans, which I know they're not moving good air, it's gonna act like that. It's gonna basically, if you're not moving good air, it's basically like your fan's not even running anyways. So that could definitely be it. Also, the unit we're working on, this is the elevator room here. It's interesting to see the controls. But the unit that we're working on that floor, the fan wasn't running, so you know, we probably have a poor load as well. We turned the power off for the unit. I want this thing to reset, and we're gonna connect the LG MV service tool to it, and we're gonna see how this thing is operating. Let's see what's going on. For now, seems like a good time to go grab a coffee. It is a nice, beautiful, sunny day here in New York City, but it is cold. We reset the unit on the roof, connected our LG MV tool, and set all the units to heat. Right now, this room is set to 28 degrees Celsius. We're gonna have to get into these settings to change that to Fahrenheit, but I wanna check voltage while the unit's running and communicating. Between black and red are 12 volts. I'm assuming we should have just our steady voltage. Oh man. And we need DC. 11.9 volts. Now the main thing is there's signal while when the machine is running and it's communicating. You see, we also have 11.9 volts. People were thinking that just because it's going up and down that it's communicating. You know, I have seen that on other units like Mitsubishi, where we have our communication and our signal, and when we have it like auto ranging, that actually means that it's communicating. But this could be different. I guess when it comes to these, we really need to have those voltages, and that is what technical support advised me last time. So what I'm happy for is that, you know, now we have basically our 12 volts and the machine is running. If we look here, you can see we have 102.9 degrees right there, 103.3 degrees, 0.5. That's great. It's set to change the motors whenever this main board goes bad, when it's connected to the same motor. But as you can see, that one's running and that one's running as well. There's 2 motors. There's a single shaft motor and there's the double shaft motor. That right there is a beautiful thing. I'm glad we didn't have to rip this all apart to change these motors, but when the time comes, I could change this one here probably, but not that one. I'm not getting in there. My whole arm, this is as far as I could reach, and we're pretty far away. Next, you can see we have all this wood, and that's the electrical there. Then we got these pipes in the way. And how you ever gonna clean this coil? Impossible. I came here, and because we couldn't clean it, what I had to do was get an air compressor and just blow these fans out as best as I could to get some airflow. We do have airflow on this one, but really You cannot do a proper cleaning on this unit, and it's just unfortunate. Got the filter back on after it was cleaned, and we got this cover back on. We can close this one up. We got the thermostat back on the wall. We have a steady viewpoint of this thermostat. Before, the display was turning on and off, blinking and honestly doing weird things. We're gonna wrap this one up here. What I'm gonna do next is go into the settings, change this from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and just go into like advanced settings and see what else this is set to, and just make sure everything is right. I'm gonna leave that into a separate video. And as far as the roof, with that error code, it's reset now, but apparently this unit has shut down on that CH35 error code a few times, so something is definitely going on. I'm gonna say it's those fans, but we should check the sensor and, you know, get a little bit more involved with that. But we're gonna leave that for another separate video as well. We're gonna wrap this one up here, and if anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as I come out with new videos every week. And I'll catch you all next time.